Hello everyone, hello Chelsea fans, welcome back to Chelsea News Today updates, last night win and other updates today. The main talking points from Saturday evening at Stamford Bridge as Chelsea edged a chaotic encounter with Liverpool thanks to a last gasp Estevao Willian strike. What Cole Palmer did to Estevao is telling as Enzo Maresca loses it in Chelsea, chaos versus Liverpool. It felt like a huge one for Chelsea. Beating Liverpool at any point is just that. But this one felt even more significant. It almost felt like lift-off in the Todd Boehly ex-Clear Lake Capital era. That might sound mad at first, but these sort of games have passed Chelsea by since the club was bought in May 2022. The Blues went toe-to-toe with Liverpool, the champions who spent close to £450 million on upgrading their squad, and landed the final punch. In the Boehly ex-Clear Lake era, Chelsea had never beaten the reigning Premier League champions in what is now their fourth season. That has all changed now. Yes, Liverpool currently look out of sorts, but so did Chelsea going into the game. A depleted Blues side did what was needed against the Reds, and of course, they did so in the most dramatic fashion. Enzo Maresca has fielded questions in recent weeks about whether or not there is a discipline problem at Chelsea within his young squad. Ironically, it was the Blues head coach that was sent off on Saturday evening. But who can blame him? Perhaps his first yellow card was a bit silly, with Maresca being booked for dissent after Alejandro Garnacho was denied a penalty. It did not look like a penalty either, which makes it even sillier. His second yellow, however, is one of those in-the-moment scenarios where all is forgiven. A 95th minute winning goal against the champions, who wouldn't run down the touchline? Fair enough, Enzo. It was a bit bizarre, albeit nice, to hear from Willy Caballero post-match. As per FA rules, a manager who is sent off is not allowed to conduct his usual post-match media duties. Caballero, his assistant, was sent out instead. Estevao magic. It is difficult to put into words the impact Estevao Willian had when he entered the pitch on 74 minutes. At the time, it seemed as if Maresca had waited too late to bring the Brazilian on. Chelsea are aware of the generational talent they have on their hands. The club knew that when they agreed a deal with Palmeiras in May 2024. There was such excitement from supporters to see Estevao in a Chelsea shirt, but from the club's point of view, they knew they would have to somewhat protect the teenager. And they have done that to an extent. The 18-year-old winger has only started 4 of Chelsea's 7 Premier League games so far this season. At this point, it is hard to see what more he can do to become a permanent fixture in the side. Maresca likes to, and needs to, rotate his side, so he won't always be there, but Estevao has become, already, one of Chelsea's most dangerous attackers. Even before his match-winning goal, Estevao was shining at Stamford Bridge. His dribbling is phenomenal, and it appears so difficult for the opposition to even get close to dispossessing him. Maresca will be equally as delighted with the Brazil international's defensive work as well. Of course, with fresh 18-year-old legs, you would expect him to be buzzing around the pitch, but the discipline he showcased to help his side was crucial. Cole Palmer, who watched on from the side as he recovers from a groin injury, ran up to Estevao post-match and gave him a big hug. Palmer knew the significance of that goal for Chelsea's season. Break comes at a good time. The majority of Chelsea's players will be jetting off around the world now for the second international break of the season. For the Blues, this comes at a good time. Maresca was missing a total of 7 players through injuries on Saturday and is hopeful at least half of them will be back once the break is over. Levi Colwill, Liam Delap and Dario Esugo are long-term absentees and not expected back anytime soon. But Wesley Fofana is due back after the 2-week break after he followed the protocol when it comes to concussion. Chelsea will also be hoping Palmer, Tosin Adarabioyo and Andre Santos will return for when the Blues travel to Nottingham Forest on October 18th. Benoit Badiashile was forced off injured during the Liverpool clash at Stamford Bridge on Saturday evening. Benoit Badiashile and Josh Ahayampong were both forced off the field against Liverpool as Chelsea's injury crisis worsens. The duo's issues mean Enzo Maresca has 5 central defenders unavailable. Levi Colwill could miss the season after he was forced to undergo ACL surgery in August, while Wesley Fofana is out of action with concussion. Tosin Adarabioyo is also absent until after the international break. Badiashile was the first to leave the field and left Maresca pulling his hair out. It was midfielder Romeo Lavia who entered the fray in his place as Reece James slotted into the centre of defence instead of Badiashile. The Blues captain joined teenage star Acheampong in the heart of the backline, with Trevoh Chalobah suspended after getting sent off against Brighton last week. Malo Gusto moved across to right back, having previously played in the centre of the field with Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. "This will be a real concern for Chelsea," said former Chelsea ace Pat Nevin. "They are going through centre-backs, Fofana, Tosin, Colwill, now Badiashile. The likes of Caicedo and James can play at centre-back, but it's a concern longer term." And that was before Acheampong required a substitution after going down himself. The youngster was replaced by ex-Ajax man Jorel Hato after being treated on the field. Liverpool had their own defensive issues. The French defender was also replaced at Stamford Bridge and went straight down the tunnel when he left the field. Konate appeared to be pointing at his leg as he departed. Arne Slot opted against bringing on Joe Gomez in his place, however. Instead, the Dutchman chose to send on Curtis Jones to spark a reshuffle in the backline, with Ryan Gravenberch deputising. While Chelsea led through Moises Caicedo's thunderous strike, it was Liverpool who were able to take advantage of the misshapen backlines. Dominic Szoboszlai's cross found Alexander Isak, whose touch landed by Cody Gakpo. The Netherlands international beat Robert Sanchez to the ball to earn the visitors an equaliser, while Chelsea boss Enzo Maresca did not give post-match press conference after stunning Liverpool. When Enzo Maresca will not conduct his post-match press conference following his red card against Liverpool. The Italian coach was handed his marching orders after over-enthusiastically celebrating the Blues' stoppage-time winning goal from Estevao Willian. Maresca had earlier picked up a yellow card for his protests when Alejandro Garnacho was denied a penalty. The Blues boss was in an altogether more jubilant mood in the dying minutes of the game. The 45-year-old could not contain himself when Estevao capitalised on Marc Cucurella's ball across the area. Maresca sprinted from his technical area and celebrated with his players, coming close to the Stamford Bridge crowd. "He's okay," added the former goalkeeper. "He's so happy now." Of course he cannot be here now, but we are so happy that we achieved the 3 points in the last seconds. We are so happy and so proud. The players did a fantastic job. Now is a good break for many of them, and hopefully we can recover a few more players and start the new cycle of games with energy. Asked if Maresca would pay a fine, his assistant offered, "He's always paying many things for us. So in this case, we cannot say nothing for him. But for sure we're going to have a dinner and we're going to talk about it. Because I don't want to do the press conference for many games." Maresca's dismissal is a third in as many games for the Blues. Trevoh Chalobah was sent off against Brighton, while João Pedro was awarded 2 yellow cards against Benfica. Caballero was happy with his side's unity, however. "We suffer another red card today," laughs, "but we finish strong," he said. "We know that we are a good team that plays football and we create chances in the first half. We deserve the second goal in the second half. In the way we fought today, with 4 fullbacks in the back 4 is incredible. All of us are so proud of our players. We don't look for excuses, we find solutions. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for next updates.